Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24, and thank you for joining us for another Marvel Champions hero unboxing. So today we have Wolverine, and obviously a lot of people have been waiting for Wolverine, and when Wolverine wasn't announced in the Mutant Genesis set, people did wonder whether he would be held back for a future set, but he's coming out as one of our last heroes in this phase. So first off, as always, we have the poster and with all of the extra related sort of keywords for it. We've got piercing, steady, permanent, and team up, which are fairly prevalent in a lot of the packs that we're getting these days. So we shall see what this is going to relevate into Wolverine. So let's get straight into the pack, if I can open it. There we go. So first off, we are going to start with Logan. 10 hit points, hand size of 6. Setup: search your deck and discard pile for Wolverine's claws, upgrade and put it into play. He's coming with 6 recovery, so getting that big old regeneration there. Wolverine, 2/2/2 with a healing factor. After the player phase begins, heal 2 damage. So he's going to be healing every single turn, which is quite nice. Yeah, again, hand size of 5, so fairly standard in there. And then, as mentioned, we are going to start with Wolverine's claws in play. So, exhaust Wolverine's claws to choose an attack event in your hand and take damage equal to its printed cost, and then play that event, ignoring its resource cost. That attack gains piercing. So getting out some really free cards, maybe taking that 2 damage you know you're going to get back every turn. So that's really nice. Obviously, it's only going to be coming in for the attacks, so there is no surprise that this is going to be a aggression deck. So then we start off with Jubilee. After Jubilee enters play, choose an enemy until the end of the phase. While Wolverine or Jubilee is making a basic attack against that enemy, they gain +2 for that attack. That's quite punishing. And it's only 2 cost is quite nice. And we've got an adamantium skeleton, so +4 hit points. I think you're searching for that straight away. Wolverine gets +1 attack, and his basic attacks gains piercing. Berserker Frenzy. Hero response: after Wolverine takes any amount of damage from an enemy attack, draw a card. Force response: after you flip to alter ego form, discard this card. 4 cost, I got better. Interrupt: when you would be defeated by an enemy attack, instead set your hit point dial to 5, ready your identity, and discard this card. Our alter ego card here is Logan's Cabin. Exhaust the cabin, shuffle 1 Wolverine card from your discard pile into your deck. 2 copies of Berserker Barrage. Here's our attack. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats an enemy, you may take 2 damage. Repeat this ability. Then we have 2 copies of Slice and Dice. Hero action: make the following 2 attacks in order. Deal 3 damage and then deal 3 damage. 2 copies of Lunging Strike. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. If you exhausted Wolverine's claws to play this card, this attack gains overkill. 2 copies of Trapped by Scent. Hero action: remove 3 threat from a scheme. If he removes the last threat, draw 2 cards. And then we've got 2 copies of Regenerative Healing. Choose to heal 4 damage from your identity, or discard each stunned and confused status card from your identity. So quite nice, picking yourself back up there as you go. Like I said, we are in the aggression aspect for this, and we are going to start straight off with Psylocke. Psylocke enters play with 2 Sonic counters on her. Interrupt: when Psylocke attacks an enemy, remove 1 Sonic counter from her, confuse that enemy, and deal 1 damage to it. Quite good. Sunfire. For 2 cost, after you play Sunfire from your hand, spend an energy resource, choose an attachment with the text hero action, hero response, and discard it. Okay, so potentially getting rid of some of those villain attachments. And we've got 3 copies of Battle Fury. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Response: after your hero attacks and defeats a minion, deal 1 damage to your hero and discard Battle Fury. Ready your hero. So yeah, really going to be getting that back, and obviously with that regenerative healing ability, really getting the benefit and the most out of that. 3 copies of Warrior Skill. When your hero attacks, remove 1 warrior counter from here. That attack gains 1 additional damage. Just pumping that up a bit. 3 copies of Out of My Way. Attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 5 damage instead if that enemy has the guard or patrol keyword. 3 copies of Precision Strike. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, heal 2 damage from your hero. 3 copies of Mean Swing. When your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust a weapon, upgrade on your hero. Your hero gets +3 attack for this attack. And we have 2 copies of the Aggression resource. When you spend this to play an attack event, that event deals 1 extra damage. So it's going to, again, really be pushing through, getting that aggression straight through, as Wolverine would do. Okay. And we start off with Colossus as our basic aspect hero, ally. Reduce the cost to play the Colossus by 1 if your identity has the mutant or X-Men trait, so it's going to be coming in for 3 straight away. Does come in with toughness, so 3 with the 2 consequential. I'm not quite sure on how that's going to work, but we've got Weapon X. Play if you only have the mutant trait, and exhaust it to take 1 damage. Discard cards from your deck until you discard an identity specific card. Add that card to your hand. Fastball Special, which is the team up with Colossus. Attack, deal X damage to an enemy where X is the total attack of Colossus and Wolverine. This attack gains overkill and piercing. I'm really pleased that they put Fastball Special in. How could they not? Obviously, it's such a callback to everything with those 2 characters, so it's really nice to see that. Then we've got 3 copies of our basic energy. Sorry, 1 copy of each: energy, genius, and strength. So no real surprise there for anybody. Then we've got our obligation, Past Demons. So give to the Logan player, you may flip to alter ego form and then choose exhaust Logan, remove it from the game, or you are stunned or confused and discard this card. We have Omega Red as our Nemesis minion. Retaliate 1 steady. When Omega Red attacks you, deal 1 damage to each character you control. It's not really going to be good if that comes out against Storm. Obviously, we've seen with her with her leadership abilities. And we have the Carbonadium Synthesizer. While the Carbonadium Synthesizer is in play, Omega Red cannot be defeated. So coming in with 5 threat on that, that's going to be quite chunky to deal with. And the accelerator icon. Then we've got Death Factor. Attach to your identity, force response. After your turn ends, take 1 damage. When you need to make a basic recovery, discard this card instead of healing that damage. Okay. And we have Treachery of Tentacle Strike. When revealed, you are stunned, take 1 damage. 4 if you had already been stunned. Then if it's boost, does exactly the same thing. So that is our Nemesis and our obligation. And we have our Logan List or Wolverine List. 3 copies of Command Center in the Justice aspect. Response: after an ally thwarts and defeats a side scheme, exhaust it to deal 2 damage to an enemy. It's quite nice that that sticks around. We've got Longshot. Play only if you've got X-Men. After Longshot attacks the non-elite minion, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card has a star icon in the boost area, defeat the attack minion. Okay, so hopefully get rid of a couple of minions there. A second copy of Fastball Special to go in the Colossus deck, which came with the Mutant Genesis pack. Then we have Lady Deathstrike as our additional encounter set with Quick Strike, and after Lady Deathstrike attacks and damages a character, that character owners discard 1 random card from the hand. So that can be quite punishing. She does only have the 2 attack, but that could mean that you're going to have to block up against her rather than just taking it. Then we have Seeking Vengeance. When revealed, if Lady Deathstrike is in play, she activates against you. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Lady Deathstrike and put her into play. Engage with you. Then we have 2 copies of Adamantium Upgrades. Attach the enemy without a copy of them. Otherwise, it gains Surge. Attached enemies attack gain Piercing, and it's also gaining the +2 attack. And then you're having to spend resources to discard that card. Then we've got Last up, 2 copies of Hack and Slash. When revealed, discard 1 random card from your hand and take damage equal to the number of printed resources on it. Could be quite deadly. You're only really going to get 1 or 2 on that, but it could be just that extra damage, and it's straight bleed through damage as well. So, and yeah, I've got the boost, which is doing the same thing. So that was our additional encounter set for that. So thank you. That was our Wolverine hero pack. If you haven't done so already, check out other videos on the channel, give us a like and a subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Take care.